Hello, my sunshine, and welcome to a new episode of the Hot Girl Morning Podcast. I am so excited to have you here for this very special episode because today we're going to talk about starting a new chapter, reinventing yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, and so much more. If you don't know, my name is Greta. I'm an accountability and empowerment coach, and on this podcast, I talk about all things personal growth, mindfulness, self-love, manifesting your dreams, and becoming the best version of yourself. If this sounds interesting to you, make sure to follow this podcast and rate it 5 stars. But without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Something really, really big happened in my life. Something like really, really big. And soon I will be starting a new chapter in my life. And I don't even know where to begin, honestly. Just really quick, I'm not pregnant. I'm not getting married. That is not the big change and the big new chapter that is happening in my life. But in a second, I will tell you about this because, oh my God, last week something big happened in my life that I'm just so relieved about, that I was able to finish this project. But okay, let's take a step back and let's get started in today's episode with opening up this book at a random page and see what message is meant to find you today. If you don't know, I have this book, Living with Joy, Keys to Personal Power and Spiritual Transformation from Sanea Roman, in my hand. If you're actually watching the video version of this podcast, you can see it right now in my hands. And if you have been a follower of this podcast for some time, you have probably heard about this book like for so many times, because this book is filled like with affirmations and quotes and stuff like that. And today I'm just gonna open up a random page and we do not have a quote on there, so let's try a second one. Okay. Ooh, now we have a page full of affirmations. Let's see what you need to hear today. I do those things that are loving to myself. I release anything that is not for my higher good. I appreciate, value, and accept myself for who I am. I let go of the past and focus on creating a loving, wonderful future. I appreciate, accept, support, and validate who I am with my thoughts, feelings, and words. I love myself without reservation. I am the authority of what is good for me. I believe in myself. I come from my heart. I laugh and play. I have a smile in my heart. I support other people in feeling good about themselves. I forgive myself, knowing I'm always doing the best I know how. People love and accept me for who I am. I receive love easily and others give it to me generously. I love it. This was really beautiful. I hope this touched you in some kind of way. Now, I'm going to share with you a little bit on what was happening in my life, and let's connect it all with starting a new chapter and how you can do it yourself. Oh my freaking Lord. Last week, I had my driver's license, like driver's exam, driver's test, whatever you want to call it. I know I am 25 and I only just learned how to drive a car. I think actually most of my listeners are from the US, so this concept might be very weird to you. But here in Europe, you can do your driver's license when you're 18. And when I was 18, it really didn't make sense for me in my life with my situation. Then I moved to Vienna and I was really far away from home. So I also wasn't able to do my driver's license back then. And now I have spent some time here and I finally got it done. And honestly, there was a lot of anxiety for me always connected with driving, because were some instances where I was the passenger and there were some like almost very bad accidents that were happening, and I was always a bit like scared of the speed. And I don't know, just the thing of you driving a car, like there's so much responsibility coming with that. And last week I had my driving exam and I passed it, and now I have a driver's license, and I was honestly stressed about this for so long. And if I wouldn't have passed this exam, it would have also changed the date of me moving out, because that is the big thing that is not only like in less than a month, I am going to live in a different country. I am going to live in a different country together with my partner, which is currently I don't live with him yet. So this is really, really exciting. If you don't know, I'm from Italy. It's like the northern part of Italy where our main language is actually German. We are like a German minority here in Italy. And I'm going to move to Vienna again. I have lived in Vienna before, which is like 7-ish hours away with the train. And by the end of this month, I'm going to live in freaking Vienna. And I still have my friends there and so many just good memories. And it is wild to me to think about that this chapter here at home is coming to an end, and that I am just like, this is going to be a completely different life, living together with my partner, living in a big city rather than in a city or in a town with like, I don't know, 2,000 people max. That is going to be something super different, and I am really, really excited. And also the funny thing or the special thing about all that, so after spending a couple of months now in Vienna, we will get back for Christmas and New Year's to be back at home. But afterwards, my partner has also his own business, and he can work remote, and I can also work remote. So we're gonna spend this year, or the 2025, basically slow traveling, living our digital nomad dream life. We have honestly no idea where we want to go yet. Like, I have some places that I would love to stay at, and I love Spain, Portugal, like all these places, and I love so many more. But there's this big chapter happening of me switching where I live, having like this project of my getting the driver's license now done, and just living something somewhere completely different together with my partner, traveling, and just very much a different kind of life than, well, I have been traveling also this year, but it was different. It's really gonna be, I don't know. As you can tell, it is just a new chapter that is happening for me, and I am really, really excited and not even that anxious, honestly. But after passing the exam, which was really, really stressing me out for a really long time, and I always had like that insecurity, okay, if I'm not passing this, I cannot like move to Vienna when I want to move to Vienna. So this was always like kind of keeping me in the waiting zone of just, okay, is this gonna work out? Is it not gonna work out? I don't really know. And now I just know there's this new chapter happening, and after letting go of this like nervous, anxious energy all surrounding this whole driver's license stuff, I am now at the point where I feel like, okay, I honestly, this last month, I wasn't like living I wasn't just being the best version of myself. Let's just call it that, because I was just so much in my anxious mind, and so many like things were pulling me from one side to the other that I wasn't really able to focus on, okay, this is my vision, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm doing in my business, I have my shit together. It was really just so many things happening every single weekend that I felt a bit all over the place. And I feel like now I'm at the stage again where I'm just like, okay, I need to get my shit together. I need to get clear again of where I want to go. What are the action steps that I'm going to take? I need some boom, bam, done energy, because this, I don't know, whatever this was this last month, is just not what I'm craving to be. And I want to have my goals. I want to have just this clarity in my mind. Okay, this is the person that I'm becoming. And maybe you're at the same stage right now in your life where you feel like, okay, there was this big thing happening, or there wasn't even a big thing happening, but you're ready for change, you're ready to become like this new, better version of yourself, then this will be the episode for you. And I want to congratulate you for being here, first of all, for realizing that you want to change something about your life and that you're ready to do that, because part of starting a new chapter and becoming the best version of yourself is also letting go of this past version of yourself, letting go of all the self-doubt that was holding you back, letting go of the fears, and learning to do things anyway, even though you might feel fear and it's hard to become that new version of yourself. Still, you're going for it. So I hope you're proud of yourself for doing that, because today we're really going to get into this. We're going to get into how you can become the best version of yourself. And I think on social media, all of that, like reinventing yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, is like really, really romanticized. And it really, honestly, it gives me a lot of energy to see like that romantic kind of view, becoming the best version of yourself. But in all honesty, it's also something really hard, because there is a reason that somehow you have been holding on to this past, or to this version of yourself that was held back by self-doubt, by fear, by all these things, because it was just easier that way. So just listen within. Do you feel like you're ready to let go of this older version of yourself and to start a new one? If so, then let's get right started. I want you to take a deep breath right now and know that you're loved, you're protected, and you're safe. And you have everything within you to become this new version of yourself. And there will be times where this will be challenging. There will be times where you will be questioning yourself. There will be times where you may fall back into old patterns. But it is about what you do after falling back into these old patterns. Are you gonna like stick to the same type of negative thinking and to what was going on, like to that whole negative spiraling? Or are you gonna stand back up and remind yourself of the version of yourself that you want to become? I hope, fun fact, not so fun fact, there's some construction going on right now outside of this apartment. I hope you will not be able to hear it. But if there's some background sound, that's what it is. But okay, let's reinvent yourself. Let's just create this new chapter of your life, because 2024 is not done yet. There's still a couple of months ahead of us, and you can decide which version of yourself you want to be by the end of the year. How do you want your life to look like? Because I know often in the beginning of the year, you create all these resolutions and goals, and sometimes we lose track of them. But let's get back to this right now and think about, where do you want to be by the end of the year? I think something I very, very often talk about is you need to create that clarity of where you want to go. And having this clarity doesn't necessarily mean being very, very specific on every single goal you have and being like very clear, I want to work out 5 times a week and I want to do this and that. It is more about, what energy do you want to give up? What feeling do you want to feel? What's the vibe of your life? What's the theme that you're going for? Because we're just gonna really, we're going to romanticize our life a little bit, and we're gonna give it, you can actually, if you feel like, you could think about a movie title or just a title for this next chapter of your life. What comes to me very intuitively right now, it's like time for new beginnings. I know this may not be the most creative title, but for me, this is what I feel. So it's time for new beginnings, fresh starts, and good people. I don't know. Okay, this was really just me intuitively. This was coming to my mind. So this is going to be my movie title. So what we're going to do right now first is determine how we want our future life now to look like? What's the difference that we want to create? And really, really importantly, our goal is not to think right now, I want to feel confident and beautiful and strong, and I want to feel this way by the end of the year. Our goal is to learn to create that feeling, whatever we want to create, already in the now. Because you have the power to create whatever feeling you want already in the now. And even though life may not look perfect yet, or your dreams have not manifested yet, we're gonna still create that feeling right now as if it has already happened. Because this is the power of manifestation. You're creating the feeling in the now, and then the manifestations comes into the material world with time. But we have to first create that feeling, because this energy is what is changing the things that are happening around us. So take a deep breath and think about, by the end of the year, I don't know, it feels really good to think about the end of the year. Maybe let's think about 2024. By the end of 2024, what kind of person do you want to be? I may also put some journal prompts in the show notes below, or in the on YouTube and the description, so you can just take a look at them if you want to do a more in-depth journaling session about all of that. But just think about, what's the kind of person that you want to be by the end of the year? What are your characteristics? What energy do you give off? How do you feel? What's the vibe you feel? If you feel like it, you could literally close your eyes and really feel internally. It's the end of the year. We have this beautiful, it's right before New Year's Eve. There's this beautiful energy of a new year that is happening. But you're so proud of yourself that you have already come so far. And you're so excited about the new year ahead. And you think back to the last couple of months, the big 180 that you have created in your life, the big transformation that you made in your life. And you feel so deeply grateful for the life that you have created for yourself. You feel so deeply proud of yourself, of really changing the inner dialogue that was always happening. There is so much self-love in your heart. There is so much excitement. There is so much hope. There is so much just this good feeling, because you know that you got yourself there. You got yourself there, okay? And what are the emotions that you feel by the end of this year? It's the end of 2024. What do you feel? Do you feel confident? Do you feel beautiful? Do you feel strong? Do you feel empowered? Do you feel joyful, adventurous? What is it that you feel? What's the vibe that we're giving off? How are we interacting with other people? Did you maybe learn to set boundaries? Did you become aware of the kind of friendships that you want in your life and the kind of relationships? Are you finally standing up for yourself and your dreams? Do you finally allow yourself to dream really big and be honest with what you want to do with your life? Did you let go of negative situations, of negative people, of negative jobs, of anything that is not serving you anymore? How does your life look like? And feel this excitement deep in your heart as if it is already happening right now. It is right before the new year, and you're so proud of yourself and so grateful for the new chapter that you have started a couple of months ago, for the growth that you went through, for all the awareness, for all the healing that you did. Okay, amazing. Now let's get back to here and now, and know that you're so capable. You're so capable of creating this reality for yourself. Feel free to write whatever was coming up for you right now on paper, because often we forget about all these things that come up in these kinds of visualizations, but it's so powerful to really, like, if you want to start your new chapter and really go for it, it's so important. Write it down. Really write it down, and write it down in a way that you will be reminded of this new version of yourself that you want to create for yourself. I actually open up a new notebook today, or I started a new one, so I can write in there about my new chapter and this new refreshed 25-year-old Greta that is living her digital nomad life. And it makes me, honestly, if you don't know, I am not just a tiny bit, I'm really obsessed with like notebooks and journals, and I have been journaling for over 7 years now every single day. So I'm just, okay. So what I'm trying to tell you, please write it down. Write down the kind of version of yourself that you want to become. After doing that, I want you now to think about your current life. I often like to put my life into different categories. That really helps me to kind of reflect about where I am currently. So you could create like one category that is more towards like relationships, family, friends, romantic relationships, social connections, whatever it is. Then you have another category that might be more towards career, purpose, passion, finance, whatever that would mean. And the other part would be more like about your life. So let's say about personal growth. So the routines, the rituals that you have in your life, the free time that you're spending with your friends, hobbies that you're going towards, adventure, spirituality, whatever might come up for you. I really like to always focus on these like big 3 things in my life, basically my relationships, my career, and in general my life. And then I really like to take some time to reflect about these different bigger areas in my life. So I want you to get really clear right now, thinking about the relationships that you have in your life. I sometimes even like to put it on a scale from 1 to 10 and just rate it. 1 means I'm not happy with that area at all right now, and 10 means I'm super satisfied. And just whatever it feels like right now, you can give it a number on a scale from 1 to 10. Like, for example, when I think about relationships right now, I think I'm at a solid 7, I would say. Do I feel a 7? Yes, I think 7 is. I'm really happy in my relationship. I'm excited about the prospect of seeing my friends more. And I'm happy with family, but there are for sure some things that I could work on. So first category of family, friends, whatever it is, relationships, if this feels like an important area for you in your life, just get a little bit clear. Okay, how does that feel right now? Then afterwards, let's move on maybe to the area of career, of finance, of purpose, of whatever it is, and then rate it on a scale from 1 to 10. I think, okay, I'm going to be really honest with you guys today. I would rate it right now a 5 out of 10 because I'm really happy with the clients I have, and I love the work with them, and I love the purpose that I'm going towards, and I love the podcast, but I feel like I haven't had like my boom bam done energy on recently, and that is just not the best feeling. And I know that I am capable of more than what I have been recently doing, so I would just rate it a 5 out of 10. And then let's move on more to that personal growth, free time, adventure, whatever you want to call this, peace, I don't know. Okay, I'm really doing this very intuitively with you right now. I would rate it a 4 out of 10. I actually have been doing quite a lot of stuff, but since there was like the driver's license going on, I was so like in a nervous, anxious energy that it was really, really hard for me to relax and to feel peaceful and in the moment. And that's why I would give it a 4 out of 10, because I know that I'm capable of so much more. And yeah, so after you have given yourself like a number on a scale from 1 to 10, I want you to reflect a little bit more about each of these areas. If really important, if there's like some other area that feels more important in your life, please choose differently. This is just something that I found kind of works with more or less all the clients that I have. But please, if there are different focus areas for you right now, do it differently. But what I want you to do right now is think about these areas a little bit more about, let's say, your relationships. Why did you give it X number out of 10? Why did you give, let's say, your area of career X number out of 10 and the other, whatever areas you chose? Just reflect a little bit more, and I really, really invite you to journal about this. If you're by any chance listening to this episode right now with a friend, you could actually do this together and share with each other kind of why you chose the number that you have chosen. And after reflecting about all these areas and why you have chosen, let's say, 4 out of 10, 7 out of 10, whatever it is, I want you to think about how a 10 out of 10 would look like for you. So in regards to relationships, how would a 10 out of 10 look for you? In all the areas, just reflect about how would a 10 out of 10 look for you. We can even like think about this right now on here on this podcast. Think about your career, your purpose, your finances. How would a 10 out of 10 look like for you? Really think about it. Is it that you would have to feel more grateful for the money that you're making, or that you would need to make more money, or that what you're doing needs to be more aligned with your purpose? About your personal growth, what is it? How would a 10 out of 10 for you look like? Would there have to change something about the inner dialogue that you're having? Is there anything else that is holding you away from the 10 out of 10? And when you're reflecting about the 10 out of 10, I don't want you to think about what you don't want. So I don't talk shit about myself. That is not what we want for this exercise. I want you to think about what you do want. I talk in a positive, supporting way towards myself. Whenever I am going through challenges, I give myself kindness and grace, and I know when to push myself. These are just some examples, because I want you to think about the positive thing and how would your 10 out of 10 look like, okay? And for the ones who do not like write about this right now or really think about this right now, just know, if you really want to like get to your new chapter and become the best version of yourself, it is so helpful if you really take the time and you really do it. It's okay if you're not into that whole writing things out, but I really invite you to really think about this and to create this new thought pattern, so that in the morning when you wake up, and I just want you to think about the version that you want to become and not forget about this episode and all the realizations that you have just come up with, okay? So we have figured out your 10 out of 10, and now I want you to think about, this is one of the most important parts of it all. How could you get closer to your 10 out of 10? What are the action steps that you would need to take? And if you have been listening to this podcast for a while, you probably know that the way I think about action steps are, in most cases, like, on one hand, think about high impact moves. Think about the big action steps of what you need to do or what needs to happen for you to get closer to your dream life. Let's say you realize the job that you're currently doing is something that you really do not enjoy. You want to start your own business. What is the thing that you need to do to get started with your business? I'm not telling people to quit their job from one day to the other and just get full-time into their business the way that I actually did it, because I know that that is really, really intense. But can you get started with your business already right now? What is it that you need to do? Do you need to get a mentor? Do you need to get a coach? Do you need to get someone who will help you to get there? Or what are the big action steps that you need to get done to get closer to your 10 out of 10? And on the other hand, I want you to think more towards, okay, what are some habits that would be beneficial for you? What are some other small things that would support you to get to where you want to go? These are more like things that you should potentially do every single day, and they can be really small, or it could be also something like, okay, I want to change the way I'm talking to myself. So go area by area and really write a list and really try to be solution oriented and think about, how could I get from this place to the other place? Okay. And there might be the point that you don't have the answers yet. So I want you to write down maybe separately and write down like the questions that you have for yourself. For example, you are thinking of like going towards building your own business or something like that, but you don't know what exactly you want to do and what is out there and what is possible. Then it could be just one thing to figure out and research. Okay, is this possible? Does this make sense or does it not make sense? It is okay if you don't know how to get there really exactly, but what are the first steps that you need to do to get closer to that 10 out of 10? And if this is a struggle for you to figure out, I completely get it. I offer free calls. So if you want a free call with me, you can just look on in the show notes below. There will be a link and I can talk to you and I can help you to figure out what your steps will be. And yeah, I think there's actually so much more towards creating this new chapter and all of that. And one of the biggest things I think is really, really reminding yourself of the version of yourself that you want to become. Reminding yourself of the transformation that you're going to create. A small advice, kind of tip from my side is something that really helps me is to sometimes do a challenge. I sometimes like to do a 7-day challenge where I have this specific goal, and it really helps me to hold myself accountable to the transformation that I want to create. And by the end of the 7 days, doing these specific habits or going towards this better version of myself feels so much more natural that afterwards I don't have to have this strict plan anymore, but then I'm already in this routine. So just a small tip from my side. And one other thing that I found so helpful in all the transformations and everything that I have achieved so far is starting my day with visualizing and really, really focusing on creating that feeling of the life that you want to create for yourself. I think I have created a couple of episodes before of a gratitude exercise to start your day with, a lot of kind of visualizations. You would just need to get back to these, and you can listen to these every single morning to really remind yourself of the life that you want to create for yourself. If you're interested, I can do more of a series out of that whole becoming the best version of yourself and think of more ways how I can really step by step take you through that. You can just leave a comment down below on Spotify or on YouTube and let me know. And yeah, if you need help with going for the life of your dreams, with becoming the best version of yourself, and with being so freaking proud and grateful for where you will be by the end of the year, I would love to support you. As I said in the beginning, I'm an empowerment and accountability coach, and my mission is to help people create the life of their dreams and fulfill their fullest potential. So if any of that sounds interesting, I work a lot with like multi-passionate people who have a big dream and have a big heart and know that they're capable of creating a lot and doing a lot, but they just don't know where to get started and how to get there. And there's just so much going on. And honestly, getting mentors and coaches for myself was the biggest life changer in my life. And now I would love to be that for other people. So if you would like to consider that or have any questions about that, you can, as I said before, either book a free call with me down below, or you can message me on Instagram at greta.webhofer, at greta.webhofer, and let me know there in general if you have any need for life advice or anything else that is going on in your life. I would love to be there for you on the Instagram DMs. Also, if you have an episode recommendation or anything like that for me, feel free to send it to me. And thank you so much for being here. Oh, one more thing. I also have an online course. If you feel like you're in a slump and you can't get further, there's the Ultimate Life Reset online course that will really help you. I will also link that down below. But thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.